If you feel like every year you set goals for music and sales, but nothing really changes, then this video is for you. I'm going to show you how to actually set goals that you hit, and no, this isn't going to be some smart goal system or something that you've heard before. So this video, I want to show you how to make 2026 the best year of your life through goal setting. So let's jump straight into it. So before before you understand where you want to go, you must understand where you are now. So you can't get to where you're going until you know where you are. So how do you do that? Is you take probably 1 or 2 days between now and the end of a year, which we probably have around 2 weeks left of December. So you want to take one Sunday, maybe one day over the weekend to completely lock in and figure out where you are now and reflect on 2025 and the past. So you want to ask yourself a couple questions. So, what were some wins this year? What went well? What didn't go well? What were some challenges this year? What were my goals from last year that I set the year before? Did I hit them? Why or why not? Did I want to get a song with Drake? Did I get that? Why or why not? Where did I spend my time? And what was it, an investment or a waste of time, etc. You can use ChatGPT for a list of questions when it comes to reflecting on the past year. But as I said before, you want to figure out where you are now before you go where you want to go. So once you spend some time reflecting and really go deep on this isn't some like 5 minute task that you're going to spend 5 minutes on a Sunday or half hour so you've got Netflix on in the background. No, what I do is I would go to a coffee shop, just sit down there, headphones in, hoodie on, really locked in, sunglasses on, no one talk to me type beat, have a coffee, make it enjoyable. So go to somewhere nice, preferably some place that has very high ceilings or a lot of open room, because subconsciously when you're in big open spaces your ideas are more bigger. This is something that I've heard. So rather being locked in a prison cell type of situation or area, expand your horizons. Go to the beach. I wish I could do that, but go to somewhere nice, go to somewhere inspiring, motivating, and do the reflection and the goal setting there. So once you've reflected on the past year, now you can move on to the fun part, which is actually goals. So you cannot hit a target, but you cannot hit a target you cannot see. So that's why goal setting is super important. So I like to think of life being in four pillars. So number one is health and wellness, career and finances, relationships and personal. For some people, there might be more, for some people, a bit less. But I think four pillars is a nice overall balance of life. So some questions you want to ask yourself, and you want to be crystal clear. So what do I want to achieve going into 2026 and why? So you want to be crystal clear, because the more crystal clear you are, the more tangible it becomes. So let me give you a couple of examples. So let's say the first person, they just say, I want to get one major placement this year. Okay, cool. You need to specify that. What does a major placement look like for you? And let's say in this case, it's 100 to 500K monthly listeners on Spotify. They might be signed to a major label like Sony, Universal, Warner, X, Y, and Z. So once you've figured that out, you want to ask yourself, who? And so you want to choose between, let's say, 3 to 5 artists. If you do any more than that, you're just going to overwhelm yourself. And especially if there are wide different ranges of artists, let's say one's R&B, one's trap, and one's underground, it's going to be very difficult to really lock in on one artist and one sound. So let's say, for example, your three to five artists are Until Japan, 1300 Saint, and Nine Vicious, for example. Now that you've got them, now it's pretty easy. Now all you need to do is network with their team, post content, tag them and their people. So now that you have that, now you can create a game plan of like, okay, cool. Now that I know I want to work with Until Japan, 1300 Saint, and Nine Vicious, I need to reach out to 5 people a day, send out 2 to 4 times a week, whether it be email, text, and I need to create 3 short form content pieces a week in that style to get their attention. So the example of I just want one major placement turns into reach out to 5 people a day, send out 2 to 4 times a week, and create 3 shorts and content styles in that, or content pieces in their style. Obviously, this could be very different to everyone. I'm just giving you very generalized examples. So now we can move on to another one, which is probably going to be a lot of people's one, where it's go full time in music. Okay, cool. Very vague. How much do you need to go full time? And the next question is, how will you do it? Because it's cool to say, oh yeah, I want to make 5K a month. and go music full time. Okay. There's 100 ways to skin a cat. How are you going to do it? So let's say, for example, let's just use the example of I'm going to sell sample packs for on average $20. And let's say for you, you would need around $2,000 a month to quit your job. So 2,000 divided by 20 equals you need 100 sales that month to get to 2,000. So 100 sales divided by 30 with the number of days in a week, in a month, is around 3 sales a day. And so $2,000 in a month divided by 30 equals around $66 a day. So now you need to ask yourself, how can I make 3 sales a day or $70 a day? That's a lot more achievable than 2,000 a month. And so if you've got your own site and you know your conversion numbers, it's super easy to reverse engineer. So I'm just using this vague example once again. Let's say every YouTube video you post, if you do decide to do content, or if you do content, you get 10 sales. Now, you know you need to post 10 videos in a month. That's 2.5 videos a week, which very doable for some people. So your goal of to go full-time in music, which seems very daunting, like how am I going to do it? Just requires you to post 2.5 videos a week, maybe 3 videos. So super simple. And let's say final example of you want to make $5,000 a month of sales. And let's say you're not in sales already. The number one needle moving thing for you is to get a job. And now you might be wondering, how am I going to get a job in sales? Obviously, shameless plug, watch my video that I just posted on how to land a role in sales. And then from there, you know, okay, cool. I'm going to apply to 10 jobs a day, and I'm going to follow up with all the jobs that I applied for in the past. And then you do that over a long enough period, and then boom, that's how you get a job. So those are just a couple of examples of some goals that people might have for 2026. Obviously, everyone is different. You have your own goals, but take the same principles of this. And so you also want to have a big enough why behind your goal, because he who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow. So if your why is big enough, it doesn't care how you do it, you're going to get there. It's like, for example, if your why, let's say your goal is to make $10,000 a month, and someone's goal might be just, yeah, it's cool, like I don't really have a why big enough for it, and you have someone else's, it's because your mum has cancer. That why, you're going to wake up every day, you don't care what you need to do, you're going to get that shit done. So have a big enough why, and it's okay to be, I feel like what a lot of people tell you is you need to have some crazy big why reason, and it has to be positive, like, oh, I want to make $100,000 a year or $100,000 a month so I can invest in child homes in Africa, which is cool, don't get me wrong. But if that's not really what fuels you, and what fuels you is just, I want to show my ex like that I'm up now, that is going to be so much more of a burning desire, or like it's going to motivate you a lot more than than a goal that doesn't really resonate with you. So yes, it's cool. I want to tell you, it's cool to be able like to have a goal that's like completely fueled by you and your ego. Obviously down the line, it's probably not so self-sustaining, but at the start, to get the ball moving, you're going to be a lot more motivated to show that girl from high school that you're up now than invest in some charity or donation further down the line. So yeah. The next thing to note is your outputs are a distraction, and just focus on the inputs. If you put in the work, if you send out 5 times a day for, let's say, a year straight, getting a song with one of your favorite artists, as long as you're close with them, it's going to happen eventually. And you just need to block out the distraction, the outputs, and just focus on the inputs, what you do every single day. So these are some more questions that are good questions to learn or ask yourself when it comes to goal setting. So what skills and habits do I need to learn? Who do I need to become? Because the person making $10,000 a month is definitely acting a lot different to the person making $2,000 a month. Another question is, who do I need to learn from, and who can help me? A lot of people think, oh, I need to do this myself, I'm a lone wolf, X, Y, and Z. But no, what's that saying? If you want to go far, go alone. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, build a team or learn from someone. So who do I need to learn from, and who can help me achieve this? Maybe you might have a friend who's in a better position than you. Rather than having your ego so high and saying, oh, I need to do this all by myself, send them a message. Hey, bro, I saw you have placements at X, Y, and Z. How did you do it? And he's going to give you advice that'll shrink the time frame and get you to your goals faster. So another good question to ask yourself is, what season are you in right now? So I learned this off Hormozy, which I think everyone knows who he is nowadays, but are you in a season of learning or earning? Let's say maybe you just got into sales or you just got into music. Maybe your first 3 months of the year is just going to be learning. You're not too worried about the outcome of making as much money as possible, and you just want to learn as much and soak as much information as possible. Or let's say maybe down the line, you've worked super hard for the past 6 months, the past 2 seasons of you just being locked in, and it's summer, and you want to take a trip out to Malaga, Spain, or one of these countries, and you just want to relax for a week or two, or a month or two, spend time with your family. Maybe you've got a wedding or something coming up. Maybe that's just your season of relaxing. Or maybe in terms of the 4 pillars, maybe one of them is summer's coming up and you really want to lock in on fitness, and work can be put on the back seat. So you need to ask yourself, like, what season are you in? Because you don't want to spread your focus across too many things of like, oh, I want to be number one in fitness, I want to be number one in sales, number one in music, because then you're going to have scattered attention. And so if you understand that, okay, cool, I'm in this season of locking in work, and so fitness, instead of going 6 days a week, spending 5 hours a day in the gym, maybe you go 2 to 3 times a week, spending like an hour in the gym. So that way you're still keeping fit and healthy, but your priority is more music or work-based. So understand and ask yourself, what season are you in? So what I like to do is review my goals more than once. So most people set goals once a year, new year, new me. They look at their goals or finish it January 1st, and then they never look at them again. And so the more you look at your goals, the more you can recalibrate. So I heard this saying that on a flight, the plane is off direction, off course, 90% of the time. So it's the same thing with goals. If you look at them once a year, you're not going to know how to get there and where you want to go. So that's why you have to look at them consistently, whether it be weekly, which is what I do, or monthly. So questions for like weekly reviews is wins for the week and challenges for the week. What went well, what didn't go well, and why? That's a really good question to ask yourself. Why didn't it go well? For example, for me, last week I was sick. I don't want to blame anything on being sick, but I was just not there mentally. I did not have the energy to do a lot of my main tasks. So for me, what went well is it gave me a time to relax, I guess, but it didn't really. And what didn't go well is because I didn't have a chance to really lock in on what I really wanted to. So how can I improve for next week? Obviously, rest and recover. And for you, maybe you didn't send out as much as you'd like. Okay, cool. Now I know. Need to plan out some more time on sending out. And what are your goals, and am I on track? That's a really good question, because you could get caught up sending or working on the wrong goal, and then at the end of the year you realize, oh wait, that wasn't my goal. So being able to look at your goals that you set at the start of the year and realize, am I on track? Green, you can use a green, red, like the traffic light system. Like green, yes, you're on track. Orange, yes, you're somewhat on track, but it's a bit slow. And then red, no, this week I was not on track at all. And then what do I need to do for next week? So these are a couple questions for your weekly review. You can also rank your 4 pillars of life, or how many you decide to do, on a scale of 1 to 10. And let's say one of them is really low. Let's say fitness, for example. What small task can I do every day that'll improve that number? Maybe it might be go for a walk. Maybe it might be go to bed earlier, for example. But if you know, okay, cool, I'm in the season of work and fitness can go on the back burner. And if you know, okay, cool, that's fine. Fitness was only a 6 out of 10 and the rest was 7, 8s, 9s and whatever, then that's okay. So ranking yourself 1 to 10 on the 4 pillars of life is super useful. But at the end of the day, what you want to do is you want to find the system that works for you and that you will stick to. Because I could give you all the right information. I could tell you X, Y, and Z, you should do this, this, and this. But if that's not really how you're going to stay consistent and stick with your goals, then it's not going to work for you. So there's no one size fits all when it comes to goal setting systems. You just want to find a system that will work for you and that you can stick to in the long run, and make it fun for yourself. Because the worst thing you want to do is go into like the week or going into work and you just dreading it. So hopefully this video was super useful. It's come to a perfect time where we've got like 2 weeks left of December. perfect time for reflection as work slows down for most people and you've got a bit of time to relax and figure out your goals and your next step for next year. This is a perfect time to really sit down and get clarity on what you want to achieve and reflect on the past year. So let me know if you guys have any questions. This was super fun making this, and I've had a lot of conversations with people when it comes to goals. So if you have any video recommendations, feel free to comment them down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.